Hello, everyone, and welcome to Reselling Rhythms with A&A. I am your host, Adam, with Adam's Exploits. As you can see, or maybe you can't see, Anita is not with us today. She has a family commitment, so I'm sure she's here in spirit and possibly even watching, but she is not physically on the screen. So I was happy to invite a few people today, some of my favorite people in the reselling world. Kathleen with This and That, and also David, the car boot picker, David M. the car boot picker. So they're both here. And again, I'm Adam with Adam Exploits. I just like our guests to say hello and maybe tell us a little bit about themselves. And I have a little prepared material, just make it still official show. But and then we'll come back and we're going to talk a little bit about our favorite holiday memories if we have ones. I'm sure we all have some, whether it be from childhood or from our adulthood. So Kathleen, why don't you go first and just tell our guests that don't know everything about you, and just give us a little synopsis about you and why you got involved in reselling, a little bit about your background.
Okay. Well, my name is Kathleen Riggs, and I'm with the channel This and That. I have been reselling, well, I wouldn't say it's full-time, but I've been reselling the last year and a half, learning a lot more than I ever have. Although I consider myself a reseller most of my life, I have always been involved in auctions and yard sales. My dad taught me at a very young age about yard sales and going to auctions and, you know, getting really good deals at the auctions. And my dad would buy boxes of stuff at the auctions for maybe a quarter, and then he'd bring it back at a yard sale. And back in that day, he would nickel and dime it and maybe make 50 bucks on a box that he paid a quarter for. So I kind of learned it at a very young age. Although I went into a career with state government, I worked 10 years for state government in Illinois and moved to Florida and worked 30 years for the Florida Department of Corrections here in Florida. And I just recently retired about a year and a half ago. And that is what led me to find this community. And I just can't tell you how much it's meant for me. I was a little lost retiring. You kind of float out there feeling like you don't quite have a purpose. You're used to that grind every day. And so having this to fill up my time really helps me. And I sell probably, I would say, part-time right now. And I enjoy doing that. And I'm enjoying everybody that I meet. Adam is just a real jewel. He is so helpful and so knowledgeable with all the technology. So I was really happy to get the invite to come on here today. So thanks, Adam.
Okay. Actually, Tanya has a question about your position at the Department of Corrections, if you wish to share that. Or is that secret stuff?
Well, I was not in the prisons, actually.
Okay.
I was in the probation side.
Okay.
So I worked with the offenders, and for a long time, I was a court liaison. And you go up to court and you represent the Department of Corrections so that the judge can get information on the offenders. And then I got into the finances and did a lot of accounting work. So I was pretty lucky. I didn't have a lot of direct contact with the offenders, but enough that
enough.
I'm glad to be retired. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's good. Okay, I'm gonna stop presenting you and go to Mr. David the Rock and Roller. Give me 1 second, David. There you are, my friend. You should be up. Is David up? Yeah, you should be up, David. Yep. There you go. There you go. It's a little lag.
Thanks, Alan. Hello, everybody. For anybody that doesn't know me, my name is David M., the car boot picker, and I've got my name in the chat there. I started reselling part-time back in March after I watched a couple of Stephen Steff's local app videos. And from there on, that got me motivated to start part-time reselling, selling on the local apps. I started selling on Facebook Marketplace, and I put a couple of items up onto there for a while. And then when I found out that Facebook Marketplace sales were drying up, I had a backup local app which I use, which is a big app in the UK called Spock. SHPOCK. It's a big app in the UK, and I've been using that ever since. And it's been really successful for me. Now, I don't sell, I'm not a big time player like anybody else here in the chat, but I would sell normally 1 to 2 items a month, sometimes not even that, because I have a full-time job as a cleaner and I work in a nursing home, and I work between 40 and 50 hours a week. So I try to base my part-time reselling around my job. So that's how I got started. And car boots, I go to car boot sales, and the car boot season over here in Northern Ireland starts from March and it finishes in October every year. And when I go to car boot sales, I'm sure anybody who's watched my videos in the chat here has seen, I like to source electronics because it's something I know I can test and bring home to my house. I can test them from there, and it's something I have a bit of experience in. So that's basically what I've been doing since then. So that's my background.
Okay, and a car boot for your American people that may not know, it's basically a flea market or a swap meet, but they actually pull up their cars and they sell out of their trunks, which they call them their boot, or the car boot, and they sell out of out of the trunks, and it's like a big flea market / swap meet. But over in the UK, they call them car boot sales. Yeah,
car boot sales. Yeah, it's more or less the US flea market. Yeah,
right.
It's like out there. It's the UK version of the US flea market.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm going to unpresent you. Bear with me, people. I'm doing this solo here.
You're doing
I'm going to go to me, and I'm going to present here. Present to everyone. And like I said, I'm just going to do a little bit of eBay material just so it's kind of official. I did bring up some material that I want to share with you guys. Let's see if we can do this here. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to do a screen share. I'm going to share and disregard that. Okay. Just going to talk a little bit about photography. Can you guys see the photography? I don't even have my chat pulled up. Let me pull up my chat so I can see, make sure that I'm not missing anything here. Okay, can you guys see the eBay page okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Good. Okay, I'm just going to talk a little bit about photography, and I know our friend Carol may or may not be. Hi, Michelle. May or not be here. Carol, I would love to have you on. I know things are a little difficult for you this time of year, so I didn't want to burden you, but you're here in spirit anyway. I just want to let you know we're thinking about you. So hopefully in the future we can have you on as well, Carol. So anyway, I just want to do a little bit about reselling, and then we'll get back to some of our Christmas memories. This is photo tips from eBay. This is recommended. I believe this is produced by Griff. If any of you folks have watched me, my videos, you saw I attended his seminar, and then I also took some pictures in the exhibit center of what Griff had displayed. And then I actually purchased what he had recommended. I haven't purchased the little light box yet, but I'm planning on doing that. So I'm just in the process. I'll show you guys. I did make my DIY one. I'll show you guys. It's not the greatest in the world, but it fits the bill for now. All right, so basically the saying is, make your pictures worth more than just 1,000 words. Okay, so these are some of the tips for selling on eBay. Appearance matters, and these pointers can make your items look like $1 million for both desktop and mobile buyers. Again, that's something I want to bring up to you guys when I'm thinking about it. I've made this mistake in the past, and I'm a dummy. Your listings are not typically mobile friendly, meaning they're not properly formatted for smartphone devices automatically. So I've actually added pictures. That's how I do my listings. I take pictures on my smartphone, my iPhone, and then I upload them to eBay, and then I edit them on my laptop on eBay on the website, and then I do the descriptions and do all the technical stuff, the mumbo jumbo on my laptop. However, even though I uploaded the pictures from my from my cell phone or smartphone, they were not mobile friendly. Now, I got out of the habit of checking them regularly. You got to do that, because what happens is, I think it's over 50% now. It was less than 50%, but I think it's over 50% now. The buyers are very close to 50%, are now purchasing 50% of the products on eBay through either their smartphone devices or their tablet devices. So that's something that's very important to make sure that your listings are mobile friendly. Anyway, I'll get a little bit into the photo taking. Use a plain uncluttered backdrop to make them items stand out. I was using a nice wooden lacquer table. I'm switched over now to the white backgrounds. Hey, Rob, thanks for joining us. I switched over to the white backgrounds. I'll show you guys. I use the poster paper, or I use the foam board. Another thing is when you're taking your pictures via your phone or your camera, make sure you turn off the flash and you use soft diffuse lighting. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Again, I've talked about this before. To keep things steady when we're taking pictures, use a tripod. And you'll actually see the tripod that I purchased in my my little video here. Number 4, take high-resolution photos so your item will look attractive on screens big and small. That's something that actually Griffith brought up at the seminars, that that you don't have to worry about your pixels. I mean, you can go as high as you want. If it's too high or actually too low, actually, you'll get a warning from eBay. Typically, you won't be too high, so take a high-resolution picture, and you can always edit it down. Make sure, as you see here, the item kind of fills the whole frame. Tip number 6. Why did I get the notification? Photograph your item from all angles and captures and details, and also the blemishes. So in other words, capture the details, but if there's any faults, make sure you disclose those faults and show them in pictures. I always put, I don't know whether it's going to help me with eBay or not, but I put that the picture is part of the description. It may not help, but I always include it. Tip number 7, and this is especially useful with jewelry. I noticed that a lot when I'm watching some of the auctions with jewelry. I can't tell the size of the item. So if you put a coin next to it, again, in your pictures or in your video, when you're doing an auction, you can actually get a reference as to the size of the item. So I think that's a great tip. You know, they're showing a quarter next to this earring, so it gives you like a reference of the size. Yes, Tanya, jury. Tip number 8, capture the natural colors of your item. No filters necessary. Again, that's the biggest problem I have. I use an iPhone, and I use apps, and I use natural lighting devices, soft boxes, but I always have problems getting the exact color light. I'm hoping that iPhone will actually upgrade their phones in the next couple of years, and we'll have something that's more low light friendly, because they said I have issues. It takes me way too long to take my pictures, and then I end up editing them into an eBay's website to make them look more attractive. Again, number 9 is to include some of your detailed close-up shots. Number 10 is avoid using props. I know some people use props like on Poshmark. eBay doesn't want you to put a lot of, like, make it the picture busy. Just show the item that you have. Okay, so that was, then there's some tips here for fashion photography. Show buyers the picture perfect outfit they're looking for. Show buyers what the item will look like on them by using a model, a dress form, or a mannequin, rather than a hanger or laying it flat. That's a lot of work, but I mean, if it's a higher priced item, you're asking for more money. It does look better on a mannequin. I suggest, like, you know, if you're selling, say, a sports jacket or a suit, you know, maybe put a dress shirt and a tie on the mannequin. Just make sure you disclose that it's not included, because you know how people can be. But I think it makes a much better presentation. Number 2, show it all. Photograph all angles and include close-ups of the patterns, trims, hardware, or texture materials. Number 3, don't hide the wear and tear. In other words, show the blemishes, show the defects. That's something you have to disclose, because you get an INAD anyway, more than likely, if you don't disclose them. So you want to disclose that to your buyers. Tip number 4, shoot shoes from different angles. That's something I'm going to look into. I want to get some of those loose light shoe stands, because that's something I really want to gear up. I'm trying to get more out of my women's clothing, because I don't really know anything about the high-end fashions. I'm just buying jeans and more men's casual wear. So I want to be like maybe 25% men's casual wear, getting some shoes, and maybe like 30-40% clothing, including shoes, and then try to get like 40 to 50% in hard goods. Display handbags inside and out. Okay, savvy shoppers will want to see interior, exterior, front, and bottoms of your bag, including its linings and tags. Again, disclose any stains, any blemishes, any tears. I know a lot of you ladies are jewelry sellers and handbag buyers. I mean, that's very important that you disclose that in your pictures. Number 6, include the tags and labels. Photograph labels and tags. If the clothing item is still in the box, take a shot of that too. Okay, and that was for fashion. Now, these are some tips for mobile phone photography. Get the professional look with your cell phone. Keep the lens clean. That's something I forget. You know, I have a case on my cell phone, and I guess occasionally I should probably, you know, make sure that the lens is clean. It says use a lens cleaning solution with a soft floss. Even a t-shirt, a cotton t-shirt will work on a pinch. Check your settings. Make sure your camera is set to the highest resolution. Again, as I said prior, turn off your flash. Shadows, reflections, and grayness will make your photos less attractive. Again, you can edit them in the apps. I don't have good luck using that on the phone editing it. I have more luck using it on the laptop or an aftermarket app to edit my pictures. Consider third-party camera apps, which I just basically discussed. Many apps allow you to capture more detailed photos and edit them. Okay. And I'll just go over this a little bit. Photo requirements. Every photo or listing should have at least one photo. I believe you can use up to 12 photos. If your item is something that can't be photographed, like a vacation package or a home improvement service, browse the internet for copyright-free images you can use to show on your listing. Meet the minimum photo size. I've had this problem for some reason. I don't know why. Occasionally, my pictures don't come up with high enough resolution. eBay requires a minimum of 500 pictures for an image. Longest side, most cameras and camera phones will exceed this minimum, and bigger is better. Don't use borders. Borders aren't allowed on any item, except if it's a natural border created by the photography, your square or rectangular item against a neutral backdrop. Don't add text or artwork. Again, you're not allowed to put like watermarks, and people do it, but no text or artwork like free shipping or seller logos may be added to the photo. Use the title, subtitle, and description box to include details of your item. And again, use stock photos only for brand new items. Now, this is a catchy situation. I've been told you shouldn't use stock photos at all unless you are actually a wholesale purchaser. You know, you're purchasing from a wholesaler and you have the rights to sell that product. It says here, stock photos cannot be used for pre-owned items, which is obvious. Catalog images are acceptable, but not as a primary photo or pre-owned items, except those in books, movies, music, or video games. So what that's saying here is that you can use a stock photo, but not as your primary photo. I myself personally avoid using any stock photos. I take all my photos personally. Okay, so we're going to get out of this, and we just want to show you guys something real quick. We'll do this, and we'll do this. And this is my setup. Disregard all the comforters and everything, but this is my spare bedroom eBay room. Okay, and that was my eBay photo room. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing, and we're going to go back. Let me just pop up my chat. Okay. Again, I just want to make it a little bit educational, so you guys learned about photographs with eBay. And now I'd like to just discuss a little bit about you know, our Christmas. This is a Christmas show. You can see I'm wearing my Santa hat. Kathleen, would you like to go first? Maybe share something that you remember as a favorite part of your Christmas, or something memorable?
Yeah, I have a good one. Back when my husband and I were first married, one of our first Christmases, we were very poor, didn't have a whole lot of money, so we drove out. This is when I lived up in Illinois. We drove out in the country to find a Christmas tree. So my husband jumped onto some farmland and went back in and sawed a tree down. The poor little thing was about as brown as could be. It looked like it was kind of dead.
I'll percludge you a little bit. You still there, Kathleen? David, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
The best Christmas Eve, one of the Christmas tree lots was giving away free trees on Christmas Eve. So our friends picked up this huge tree and brought it over to us, and we all proceeded to take the ornaments off of the old brown dried up tree, our Charlie Brown
tree, right?
And we put up the new tree that our friends got us, and they helped us put all the ornaments back on the other trees. So for us, that was a really special memory. It was just so nice of them to think of us and think, well, we know somebody who needs a tree. So that was a very special Christmas for us. Yeah, we had some great friends.
Yes, David, I'm going to put it on you, and you can, if you have something you can share with us, anything. It could be from your childhood and maybe a toy or something.
Yeah, I thought of something funny, but it's not reselling. Like you said, it can be anything.
No, it's personal. We're just having a little fun because of the holidays.
I remember working Christmas Day last year, and I was able to get out work early, 12:15 instead of working my full shift. So that was nice, and I got my Christmas dinner and work as well. So that's a nice wee memory to have for me.
So you got out of work early on Christmas Day.
I started working full day, got home early.
Well, I worked. I mean, I'll tell you guys a little bit about my situation here. Let me get off of you, Dave. We'll go to me. Okay. A little bit about me. I think I've told you guys in the past, I used to be in the wine and liquor industry. I started out working retail at a liquor store when I was 18. You had to be 18 technically to work in a liquor store. So I started, that was the drinking age was 18. So I worked at a local liquor store. A friend of my uncle's that got me the position. So they always wanted you to work the holidays, and they would never pay you. I mean, they would pay you time and a half or occasionally double time on the holidays, but they always wanted you to work Christmas, New Year's, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, and of course it was crazy busy. Well, it wasn't so bad when I was younger because I could deal with the craziness. As I got a little older and working retail, it became a little bit difficult. But I'll never forget, and again, this is part of my story. It's not my whole story. I was telling Kathleen earlier when we had a little discussion about these stories. My mother's side of the family is Polish. Her father and mother were both Polish, and they were very, very religious Catholic people, and they used to celebrate Christmas Eve, and to them Christmas Eve was more important than Christmas Day, and that was kind of like the family day. You all got together and you served Polish specialty foods. On Christmas Eve, it was like the Italian people where they don't eat meat; they only eat non-meat products. So that's what we did back in the day, and that's part of my remembrance. They used some of you guys might be familiar with pierogies. They're basically potato-filled like raviolis, but they're potato or they're onion or they're sauerkraut. Sometimes they have a little bit of apples in them, but that was one of the things they would serve. That we would have a borscht, which is beet soup, which had dried mushrooms. Now, back in the day, long story short, my father passed away when I was a senior in college. So my uncle was kind of like a surrogate father to me. And again, that was the Polish side of the family. So he would always purchase, and he lived with my grandmother to take care of my grandmother. So he would always purchase these special imported mushrooms, dried mushrooms from Poland. And they would be something outrageous. I'm going back 20 years ago. That I don't even know what they were. But they were crazy, crazy pricey. So he always lied to my grandmother, and he was always tell her like he paid like 1/10 of what he paid. So if he paid, like $20 for 3 ounces of mushrooms, he would say he paid $5. And of course, he raised it to $6, $7, $10 over the years. So finally, he got smart enough, and he said, "You know what? We don't need Polish dried mushrooms. We'll get American dried mushrooms." So somebody said they recommended porcini mushrooms, so he got dried porcini mushrooms. So once my grandmother was very elderly, he switched to that, and then as my mother got elderly, and my mother used to make the borscht in Russian, borscht in Polish, she used the dried porcini mushrooms. So that was our memories. We really enjoyed Christmas Eve, and then back in the day when we were young, children. I remember we always were allowed to open one present on Christmas Eve. That was our treat, because there were Santa Claus's presents, and there was presents from our parents and from relatives and whatnot. So we were allowed to open one of our presents from our parents on Christmas Eve. So that was always a highlight when we were children. I don't remember a lot from when I was a child about Christmas. I do remember I got the original Atari video games. And that was like, where they had the Pong and they had the Missile Command and Space Invaders. I wish I still had that. Obviously, it probably wouldn't still work. But that's my memories from when I was a child. Child. Like I said, more like I said, like Tanya says, it's funny how things revolve around food all the time. But that's the truth. I mean, I always thought about it. And then on Christmas Day, we were allowed to have meat, so we would do the American, or I guess it's Polish American. We would do the ham, and then we would have kielbasa, which is Polish sausage. And I live right outside of Philadelphia. In fact, I'm probably going to go tomorrow because we'll get nutso next week. With Christmas Eve coming up. But Polish people love to eat kielbasa. If you guys, the Hillshire Farms that they make, it's okay. But if you get a chance, get it from a butcher. I go over to Philadelphia, and this is a butcher. They make it right there. They have the fresh and they have the smoked, but everything is delicious. It's literally made by the butcher, as opposed to buying something out of North Jersey or New York that's shipped down here and probably has some kind of preservative. This is all fresh. So I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about the Polish food, Tanya.
We're going to Tanya's for Christmas.
Yeah.
Tanya, you're not having tacos for Christmas. Sorry, I know you love tacos.
She's having them
tonight. Have ham? What's she having?
She says she's having tacos tonight for supper.
No tacos tonight for supper. Hi, Carol. I'm glad you joined us. I mentioned you early, sweetheart. I would love to have you on. I know you're going through some difficult times, and just letting you know that David, Kathleen, and I miss you, and wish you the best. And one of these days, we'd like to have you to join the panel. So
Good.
Hey,
yes, John, it's me. John saying it's not David. Yes, it's me, John, the one and only. Yes,
David, the rock and roll. Let me switch back to sharing with everybody. Stop presenting. Okay, so now allegedly whoever speaks is going to be shown on the screen. So let me pop up the chat again. So does anybody in the chat have any stories they wanted to share? Does anybody in the chat want to pop on? I can send you guys. I'm Facebook friends with most of you. I can send you the link. Tanya, did you want to join, or anyone else want to join the chat and maybe tell us a little story? You don't have to stay for a long time. This is kind of like I said. This is kind of like the holiday show. I'm not doing a show next Wednesday, and I'm hoping that the following Wednesday Anita will be available. So, by the way, Rob, somebody recommended I have you on the channel. I would love to have you on. Again, I'm all about. I tell people I'm not an expert at anything. I have 30 years plus experience in retail and wholesale sales. I have a business degree in college degree in business. And I watch a lot of YouTube. So, and I'm learning just like everybody else. You're wrapping presents and watching, Tanya? Okay.
Yeah, that's something I got to get started on, and is wrapping presents.
So I always say I'm here to learn just like everybody else, and I try to bring on some of the experts and have them share their opinions and their knowledge with everyone. And it's funny, like I say, I try to learn something new, one thing new every day, and then I feel like I've accomplished something. Obviously, you do eBay listings or whatnot. You make a sale, you feel like you accomplished something, but I always try to learn something every day. So, really, which Rob? Oh, I don't know. It's in my chat. The one about the where I had Justin on. Justin RVA Flips. One of your friends said she was speaking with you. I'm game. I'm just about to go and make a video asking about questions to yourself. Yeah, one of your friends. I mean, if you watch the video where I had Justin RVA Flips, Rob. I forget, it was a message this morning, and I responded to it and said I would love to have you on. But yeah, I mean, I'm game for having anybody on that share their experiences. Like I tell you guys, I'm retooling my eBay store. I'm trying to get out of. I have a lot of women's jeans, and they're just sitting. So I think I'm gonna try to find a local shelter and donate most of my women's jeans to them. I'll probably keep some of the higher end things, and donate 80% of them, because I figured if I just give them to Goodwill, it's going to be the same situation. Then they're mostly smaller sizes, but I'll donate them, and we'll see what happens. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Laughing at Carrie Berry's mom says she's making the shipping room back into a dining room for the holidays. I thought, how many of us do that?
Yeah, I know. I don't want to share Anita's personal stuff, but she had some rearranging to do because she was having guests.
I know Carla from Princess Casserole said the same thing. She had to get her dining room table cleared of jewelry. So I'm glad I'm not the only. That's the same thing I've got to do. I'm having company over for Christmas, and my place looks like a jewelry bomb went off in it. So. I have a plan. I have a plan to clean it up. It's just I've been procrastinating. So I have a very small place, so I don't have a lot of room to store stuff.
Now, what part of the I'm sorry, I got feedback. I don't know why. Somebody unmuted.
I think we're okay.
Okay, I was getting feedback. Okay, it's better
now.
Yeah,
you're okay. Yeah. Okay. What'd you say, Adam?
What part of Florida are you in? Are you the West Coast or East Coast?
I'm on the East Coast, St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm like maybe 9 blocks from the water, from the bay. Yeah, I live right downtown. It's really nice down here. I love it.
So you can walk to, I guess, do your grocery shopping and all that pharmacy and all that stuff?
No, I've gotten hooked on Walmart. I have to tell you.
Uh-oh.
Here, Walmart, like you can put your order in online and then you just go pick it up, you know, and I've gotten hooked on it. It's wonderful. So I do most of my shopping now at Walmart because I can put it in online and go get it. So, but there's a lot of little places down here. I should make some videos of a lot of antique shops. They're just all over the place. And I'm an artist, and that was a big part of the reason why I moved down here, because it's a very artful town. We have 3 museums. The Dali Museum, you know, is a world famous museum.
Oh, I didn't realize that. You have the Salvatore Dali Museum down there. Okay.
Yeah, it's great. And I'm a member there, and we have Museum of Fine Arts, and we have Chaluli. I don't know if anybody's familiar with him, that does all the blown glass sculptures and things, and his museum's here too. So there's quite a lot to see.
Yeah, it sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it is. I love living here.
Yeah, I know. I always preferred. I'm not a big Florida person because I don't like the heat. I mean, I like Florida like this time of year. I like Florida like November through February, but I don't want to be down there any other time of the year. Even in spring, to me, it's too hot. But I actually like the West Coast. Well, I mean, when I was younger, I used to always like the West Coast. I mean, nothing against the East Coast, but I always felt that people were friendlier on the West Coast. It seemed like they were from the South. And for some reason, again, this is probably prejudging, which I probably shouldn't do.
I don't know. It could be. I find them to be very friendly down here. But
okay, maybe that community is,
like a completely different vibe to me. Of course, you've got, you're on the Atlantic side, which is a lot rougher than the Gulf side, which is what we're.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
Yeah, so like when you go to Daytona Beach and some of the West Coast down into Miami, you get some really nice waves. In fact, the surfing is a lot more popular on the west side of Florida because of that reason. So
because the waves are less.
The waves are higher.
Waves are higher on the West Coast.
Yeah, they really crash in. You can tell the difference when you go over to the West Coast. So that's something I like about it.
How far are you from like Disney and all? Do you enjoy Disney?
About an hour and a half. Okay. Orlando's about 90 miles from here. So
do you enjoy going to Disney?
Oh yes, Disney and Universal. And Florida residents will get real good specials, which is nice too.
So they have rates for residents.
Yeah, they'll have rates. You have to show your ID or your driver's license, but they'll give you a special rate. So Michelle says she's been to the Dali Museum.
Oh, you have, Michelle? Nice.
Oh, and is it PGH Picks?
Yeah, it's Pittsburgh Picks.
Oh, Pittsburgh
PGH, Pittsburgh Picks. Yep.
Oh, yep. I used to have a sister that lived on Snell Island. That's just right down the road from me. And I used to live in Largo. That's too funny. I moved from Largo here to St. Pete. They have not finished the new pier yet. That is a bone of contention for everybody around here. They tore our one.
I'm sorry. Carol brought up your cats. You had Gizmo on the other day with his funky eyes.
That's my babies.
That's your baby.
Yeah, the two. I call them my boys.
they're not handy, are they? I know they probably don't like to be held anyway, right?
Oh yeah, they do.
They do?
Yeah, they do. Not the Siamese. Yoshi's the Siamese. His mom was a full-blooded Siamese, and Toby was my husband's cat. So
okay, and Carol's golden retriever is Mr. Toby. I call him.
Yep, and I always, that's why it made me laugh when I first saw Carol's dog, because I call my cat Mr. Toby all the time.
Your cat Mr. Toby too?
And then she has this cute little dog, and she's calling him Mr. Toby, and I was like, oh, this is too funny. What a small world.
Yeah, I tell Carol, give Mr. Toby a hug when she sees him for me.
Yeah, Carol needs to do some Mr. Toby videos.
Oh, I love Mr. Toby videos.
The Tobys, yeah.
There you go. So do you have one of the cats handy, or you don't have one of them handy to show us?
Yeah, I'll go get him.
That's nice. I know a lot of people love their fur babies, so I figured we could share, and so it's kind of a casual show before the holidays.
This is the one. This was my husband's cat. This is the one that likes to be loved. Yeah. You want to say hi, Toby? You say hi to everybody. Say hello.
Oh, Mr. Toby.
Toby. Hey. There you go. Show him that nice. And you got your new bow tie on.
He's got a bow tie on.
Oh, handsome. Yeah, he loves to be mauled and loved, and my husband spoiled this one rotten.
All right.
Yeah. So, well, there's your debut, Toby. Say hi to Mr. Toby the dog.
He's a YouTube star.
He don't care. He just wants to be loved. He's they're good cats, though. People say you can't train cats, but you can.
Now, our Siamese cats, we used to have a Siamese cat next to us when I was growing up. Are they kind of like standoffish?
They're very hyper, and they're very vocal. That's why a lot of people don't like a full-bred Siamese, because they're very vocal, and they do a lot of talking, and that drives some people up a wall, but it doesn't me. I just talk back to him.
You talk back to
Yeah. We have conversations, and even Toby's getting that he's talking too. So the older they get, they're pretty old. But one of them, the Siamese, is about 8 years old, and Toby's about 9 years old. So,
Carol, you read my mind. I was going to ask David that. David, do you have any pets?
I was just as you were saying, I was just typing it in here at the computer. I'll tell you now. Yeah. I used to have a Labrador. You know Labradors.
Oh.
Yellow, black, brown. What did you have?
Yeah. Used to have a yellow, like Labrador.
Okay.
Yeah, yellow lab there, but you're going back now 5 years, 6 years now. He had to get put down, so he did. He had diabetes, and because he had diabetes, it made him go blind, and he had to get both his eyes taken out.
Oh, geez.
After that, then he started getting really ill, and he was going downhill very quick. And my dog got put down at our local vets, just up the road from where I live here. Mm-hmm. So we just decided after that we weren't going to get another animal again. You know, it was just a wee bit too much. My sister took it very rough. You know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, did the lab, did he shed a lot? I know they have short hair. Do they shed a lot? Because I know Anita is planning on, probably shouldn't disclose this, but Anita's thinking about getting a dog eventually. So I should probably just close my mouth right there. But so she's considering dogs that are friendly with children, and I know Lab came up, and I know Lab shed quite a bit. So they're great with children, and they're very loyal dogs. Yeah, they're very loving.
They're very loving dogs. So you don't think you would get another one, David?
I don't think so, Kathy. No, it's just a wee bit too much for the family to take in after what happened. You know, my sister took it very bad, you know, but no, I don't think so, no.
What about a cat?
My dad's father had a cat, but that's as far as we went with cats now. I don't know if you ever get one or not, but cats are nice.
Cat person, huh?
Well, I don't mind cats at all. I don't mind them at all. I've been around, some of my family members have cats, and I've been around them before. I don't mind them at all. They're nice. But I can't see us having one, no.
No? Oh, okay, well, we won't send you one from America then.
You can if you want. If he's called rock and roll, I'll take him.
So what's your schedule like the next week, Dave? Do you have to work the holidays?
Yeah, I'm working Christmas Eve. I'm off Christmas Day, and then I'm in Boxing Day. But I've been told by my deputy manager that if I start at 7:30 in the morning, I can get away at 2:30 in the afternoon rather than start my full shift. So I'm going to be able to get away early on Boxing Day. But I'm off Christmas Day this year. We all take turns. So one person works Christmas Day one year, then the one works the next year. So we all take turns just to keep it fair. So it is. So
now Boxing Day is the day after Christmas, correct?
it is, yeah.
Okay, because I know it's big in Canada and in the UK.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Because I wasn't that from. I only learned about it a few years ago. People kept saying Boxing Day. It's like, what the heck is Boxing Day? I have no idea what that is. But I know it's
Boxing Day. Boxing Day is after Christmas Day. Yeah. So that's what I'm working. That's what I'm working. So it's not too bad. Now I'm off work today and I'm off work tomorrow. Just so it's nice. It splits up the week. Splits up the week, I find.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Where do you source, David, when the weather's bad like this?
No, well, I would source my car boot sales, but but it's only from March till October, because that's when the car boot season over here starts and finishes. But after that, then that's once I've sold everything, that's me then. So basically, where I am right now, I've sold everything in the local apps the last 2 months, and I've got all my inventory has been sold. So right now, I've just been focusing on my full-time job. I've been working a lot of extra shifts to build up the Christmas caffeine. So as I was saying, I'm not a big-time player. For me, this is just a wee interest in the side.
You kind of do like seasonal type.
Yeah, it just takes my mind off work, and it gives me a wee bit of extra money here and there. So
yeah,
so I don't sell many items. I don't sell many items, every week like a lot of other big resellers do. But for me, it's only between 1 and 2 items a month. Sometimes it's not even that. But, it's just to be interested in the side and enjoy doing it. And it's because of Steve and Steph that I've got back into reselling again, as I was saying earlier on at the start of the video. That got me motivated to do the local sales because I like it. There's no fees. And it takes me under 5 minutes to take maybe 7 pictures on my mobile and get it put onto Facebook Marketplace or the other local app I use, Spock. No time at all. So it's been very good for me. I've really enjoyed the local sales. It's good. And I've put a couple of local sales videos out on the channel. So I'll have for anybody there if you ever want to see them. So
yeah, I'm gonna put all your guys' links. I thought I shouldn't put your links in earlier, but I'm gonna put both Kathleen's link and your link, David, in, and I'll put in our link to our Facebook group and our link to our Gmail address. I will definitely put your guys. And David, I enjoyed your video where you were showing you're meeting a guy in one of the parking lots of a supermarket. Was that your headphones or was that your virtual reality headset? What was that you were selling?
Yeah. That was headphones that I got free with my Samsung S8, which I'm using right now. I got them free. I got those headphones free as part of the deal with this phone I'm using now. So the cost to me, Adam, was nothing. It cost me nothing. It was free. It was all free money for me. Yeah, free money.
Oh, so nothing better.
Yeah.
David's touring around a parking lot looking for this guy's red Toyota, I think it was.
Red Toyota. He says, I'll be in a red Toyota, and there was about 7 or 8 different red Toyotas. I'm looking about the place. Where is it? But I found him.
I think you'll find it will build up for you, though, David. I think the longer you do it, the more you're going to start selling.
Yeah, no, as I was saying, Kathleen, I'm not a big-time reseller. It's just an interest in the side for me. But I really enjoy doing it, even part-time. And it's really, I've learned a lot from all of you, so I really do appreciate it. And everybody in the chat here, they're great people, great friends of ours, and make sure you subscribe to everybody here because they're great friends, really nice people, including yourselves. So
yeah, it's opened up a whole new world for me, that's for sure.
Definitely, yeah, it definitely has. Yeah, I never knew all this existed. How I found? I'll tell you how I got started on YouTube. Chris. Chris Liquidation 08. We used to follow him for a while there.
Right.
I started watching him, and I found Steve and Steph through his channel one time when he interviewed them last year, and that's how I got started watching YouTube, was through them. And then obviously come March, when Steve and Steph are putting out a lot of local sale videos, I thought, yeah, I've got to try this. This looks really good, and I'm glad I did, and I haven't regretted it once.
Yeah, it's the generosity of this community is what blew my mind. I mean, just to click into a video and I'm like, they're giving me all this information. They're not making me pay for it. I'm not having to beg for it. They're just freely giving me their knowledge so that I can learn. And that totally blew my mind. I had not been privy to that, you know, in my career at all. You know, people just didn't want any information to get out that they knew that would give them the upper hand over somebody else. So it's crazy to me.
David, how does that, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. I always think of Mr. Spock. How does that app work? I know it's a local app.
It's basically similar to eBay. You list your item, and you can do, they've got a promoted listings on it, and you can promote your listing for 5 days or 10 days or 15 days, but you have to pay for that, just like you would do in eBay. You have to pay in Spock app. You have to pay to have that.
There's a listing fee.
Yeah, listing fee. You have to pay for that. Yeah. So when I sold my headphones, I had that promoted for 5 days, and it only cost me £5, which I thought was all right. And it works straight away. It means then your item gets noticed more in the search. Your pictures become bigger, and you get more views, per hour on the item. Yeah, Spock, I would say, is better than Facebook Marketplace for me personally, in my opinion. But obviously, everybody works differently, and you have to be in certain areas for things like that to work well for you. But Spock's been brilliant at them. That was there as a backup in case Facebook Marketplace sales dried up, and I'm glad I did download it, because Facebook Marketplace sales did dry up for me after a while, after about 2 months using it, and I had the Spock there ready to go. And I sold everything on Spock that it didn't sell on Facebook Marketplace. It's all gone, all on Spock. Sold the whole lot in under a month.
Now, is Spock just in the UK, or is that other parts of Europe, or how is that?
As far as I know, it's all in the UK at the minute. As far as I know at the minute, it's a bit similar situation to Poshmark. They just haven't expanded globally yet.
That was my next question to you. I mean, obviously you don't sell on Poshmark, but I know we have Poshmark sellers here, and the rumors that Poshmark is expanding to the UK shortly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I'm only going to be selling on the local apps. That's the only thing I'll ever list on, because for me it's really handy to use. It's quick and easy, and there's no fees that way. The only fee I'll be paying for is the listing fee, like I was saying, on Spock. And now Facebook Marketplace doesn't have that, but I'll only be selling on the local apps. But I've heard all about Poshmark. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, Poshmark, and people selling. It does look really good now. It seems to be taking off very quickly.
Oh, that's great. How much is your listing fee on that other app?
On the Spock app, my listing fee would be, well, if I want to list an item for 5 days, it would cost me £5. And then obviously if I want to list the item longer than that, it costs a bit more. I'll give you an example. If I want to list an item for, let's say, a week, it would cost me £12. And again, that gets your item noticed more in the search, makes your items bigger, and that way it makes it easier to find. So when anybody wants to search for electronics, your item will be the first picture that will come up for everybody to see, and then you get more views, per hour that way.
And is that like $11 American? Am I thinking right?
Yeah, dollars. Yeah, because the difference between the currency at the minute, I think the US dollar is $1 more than the UK currency at the minute, in pound sterling. So it'll be about that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
So I only sell on the local apps. That's the only thing I'll ever be selling on. But yes, I can understand why, Adam, you're asking me about Poshmark, because it seems to be very intriguing to a lot of new sellers, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's for some reason eBay's kind of lost its luster. They're not very seller supportive. It seems like they're more buyer supportive. And there's some, I mean, again, I don't do a lot of volume. I'm just telling you my experience and from what I've read and what I've seen. But I guess people complain more than if something goes well, they don't complain. It's the old saying, if you tell 10 people if you're dissatisfied. So it's kind of like if you do something and you do a great job, maybe you'll tell one person that what a great service this company provides or what a great product. But if you do something that upsets the person, they'll tell 10 people, and they'll tell 10 people. It's the rule of 10. So that's this thing with eBay. People are very disappointed a lot of times with eBay, the way they do things, and they don't really treat their at least that's the opinion. They don't treat their sellers properly. That the people, it's a fit issue when people describe its item not as described, or people pull a scam, and it's clearly a scam. No matter how you look at it, it's a scam. And then eBay supports the buyer, and half the times, even when the buyer is totally wrong, then they'll refund the buyer and the seller. But it's like, no, don't encourage scammers. But
yeah,
that's my opinion from what I've read and what I've seen. I've probably been scammed like twice, and I don't do a lot of volume. Once was I shipped something. I had a problem with shipping something over to Brazil, and it was a pair of high-end jeans, and I wanted eBay to help me set up global shipping. They didn't do it properly. I ended up shipping it over myself, so it cost me like $20-some to ship it to this guy. And then he claimed that the jeans were altered. Well, they weren't altered. I mean, I knew that they were altered. And then so he wanted a refund. So it's like, well, I'm not spending $20-some to ship it back, because that way I'd be out $40 shipping it there and shipping it back. And I only had $1 or $2 into the jeans, so I told him to keep it. And then there's a real hassle. And another time, somebody said like the button was broken or zipper was broken. When I always check when I purchase, and even when I don't check it, if I forget to check it, I always check it when I list it, and I always check it before I ship it. I mean, that's like triple check the zippers. So this person claimed that the zipper was broken. So as far as I know, they could have swapped out another pair of jeans that were the same model and size, make it size, and just said, oh yeah, the zipper's broken. They could have had a broken pair of jeans, and so I didn't fight them on that either. So that was my limited experience with returns and scamming.
Rosie's Closet said that she's saying Poshmark is expanding to Canada, but not to the UK yet.
Oh,
that's
really?
Right. They are. Yeah, that's right. They've got a head office in Canada. You know who put that out? Adam. Casey Rockstar Flipper put out a video about that, about Poshmark. I think a wee while back, about going to Canada, expanding when he was down there. He was at the Posh Fest.
Yeah, it was a Posh Fest, yes, and was that in Houston? I think. Yeah. Yeah, eventually I'm hoping to have Casey on my channel, but I think I have to grow by about 1,000 subscribers.
You'll get there, Adam. You'll get there.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
A little bit at a time. I never thought I'd get this far.
Yeah, I was just about to say that myself, Kathleen. Yeah, like I started off with 20 subscribers. Now I'm up to 422.
Oh, that's great.
Wow, that's great, David. That's more than I have.
Oh,
tremendous.
That's impressive.
So, and I don't exactly have amazing videos out. You know what I mean? But it just shows you.
Yeah, but I think it's your personality, though, David.
I like to make everybody feel welcome.
People are suckers for accents. I know I am.
Like the rock and roll accent, do you?
Yes. Like the rock and roller. David does game nights. David, are you going to get back to that on a regular basis, or are you just going to work with the game nights? Yeah,
I'm going to be doing regular game night videos again. It's only because the car boot season, as I was saying, starts in October and finishes in October, but it starts in March again. So between now and March, the car boot sales season over here is finished. So I'm going to be doing that until March, and then when March comes, whenever I'm off work, I will be doing car boot sale videos again. I'll be putting them out again. I'll be showing my haul videos like I used to do, and I'll be listing those items on the local apps. And whenever I have a sale, like I did there not long ago, Adam, as you were saying, I'll put out the live video of me doing the local app sale.
Yeah.
So that's the plans for next year. So until then, I'll be doing my game night videos. I put a game night video out there. Was it 3 days ago? It was a new game I got. You'll see the picture of it I put up. It's called Top Trivia Game. I got that off Amazon there a couple of days ago. It's very good. Yeah. So I'll be doing another game night video again. You see that one?
Yeah, because I love your game nights. Those are fun.
Everybody seems to enjoy it. It's nice to have everybody, And everybody's welcome in my videos anytime you want. Anytime. Always are.
It's a nice little respite from reselling. I like that, kind of a little different.
That's what I thought, Kathleen, as well. When I started doing, I thought this takes people's minds off reselling as well. Just gives them a wee break because, I wouldn't have a clue what that's like because, as I was saying, I don't list much on the local apps because of my full-time job. I only do reselling part-time, but I'm sure that that gives everybody a wee break, and it's nice interaction between everybody, I find.
Yes, it is. It's a lot of fun.
Plus, you get to learn personal things because you're asking like personal questions. What would you do? What would you say? What is your favorite? And you get to learn about the people's personalities.
Yeah,
definitely do.
Know them. Yeah, you get to know them, which is nice, you know.
Right. That's like I said. I didn't know what Kathleen. I thought she did some kind of corporate job. I didn't realize she was in government, which is great. But I mean, I didn't know. I said Kathleen's this nice lady. She always supports me. She's always there for me. She's super sweet. I want to have her on my channel. I didn't know she was in government, but hey, that's great.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were from Illinois. I mean, that's why I like having these things because
Oh yeah, yeah. It's funny, and I've met I want to say Shane, and I can't think of his YouTube name.
Grind Picker.
Yeah, Rise and Grind Picker. We found out that we were both from Effingham, Illinois. That's where I was born.
That's the name of the town? Okay.
Yeah, Effingham.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Ask Shane. He knows. And we got to kind of chatting with each other. So, it's such a small world. You just never know, I mean, and then here you were chatting with people in Egypt and Ireland and Britain, in Australia. It's just, I think it's exciting, really. It's just, it's a small world.
Yeah, 15, 20 years ago, you weren't doing this. They didn't even have smartphones 15 years ago.
No, no, they didn't.
And now we're talking across the ocean to David.
Across the pond, yep.
That's right.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Pretty amazing.
Yes, it is. Very.
What is Miss Bianca saying? David, I promise next time I will not filing cookies while you were doing the game. Okay. I was filling cookies during your game night. Okay. So she comments more in your chat. Okay.
She means baking cookies? Is that what you're talking about, Bianca?
I think she was filling her cookies. That she was some kind of filled cookies she was making.
Oh, okay.
She was busy filling her cookies instead of participating in David's chat.
Instead of being in the game night. Okay.
Right.
This is a busy time. I'm having trouble. This has been such a busy time of year for me. I'm not getting my luxury of watching my videos when I want to. So family and company intervene, and you're like trying to sneak over, see if you can get in for just a minute. And
all right, Dave, I think we're going to try to play a matchmaker. At least John is. He wants to know how old you are. I guess the ladies want to know how old you are.
Is this getting into date? This is getting into the date night channel now.
Yes, it is.
I'm 28. 28.
28. David is 28. Yeah. Oh, Bianca knew.
Yeah.
Bianca knows.
Maybe we'll have to have an auction for a date with David.
See, Don Maserati. Don Maserati was in one of my car boot sale videos a wee while back, and she promised me she would get me an Irish broad the next time I go to a car boot sale. You see, that's the agreement I made with her.
Okay.
Well, if anybody can do it, Dawn can.
All right. Did anybody else have anything to say, or so we're pushing an hour here. You got $5. $5 for what? Oh, you're offering $5 for a date with David, Rob?
Oh, I think David's worth more than $5. Come on.
Okay.
If I was 28 again, David, I'd pay more than $5. So
Bianca says you're her little brother. She should know how old you are.
Yeah, Bianca is a sweetheart too.
I told
Germany.
Bianca and Anita.
I forgot Germany.
Yes. I told Bianca, and Anita's told Bianca that we'd be more than happy to have her on our channel whenever she wants to come on.
Oh, I'd love to have Bianca. Is so sweet.
We're great to see Bianca on, yeah.
Maybe we can have David on and Kathleen on with you, Bianca, so you won't have to talk so much. You won't feel obligated, because it'll make you feel better, and you can just chime in occasionally.
You should come on, Bianca. Yeah, be great. You should come on, Bianca.
Definitely. I know she's toying with it, and she did that one video that was just really good, but she said it took her a week to put it together.
Yeah, the Canon Power Shot, and then I can't edit videos. I have to learn how to edit videos.
I don't even do that. Even videos that I record, I just do them live, private, and then when I get ready for it to be public, I just go in and change it to public. So I don't know if, that's not the way other people are doing it, but sometimes you just have to wing it because you don't really know what you're doing.
Well, that's something you can do too. You can film it, keep it private, and then film it and just say, it looks okay, it doesn't look okay. You can always delete it and refilm it and then make it public.
Yeah. So
and then everybody you talk to on YouTube says their first few videos were terrible.
Oh, I had to laugh because I went back and I caught one of Anita's first videos, and I had to laugh because, I mean, she has just come so far, and she's so professional now with the videos that she does, and so delightful that I thought, okay, everybody's got to start somewhere, you know. You see it.
Go back and watch some of them so I can tease her about it.
Yeah. I thought, oh, good. Then some, you know, she started somewhere too, and look at how good she is now. So that's how Misha said she was thinking about doing hers too. It's just, see, I don't know how to put all the, you know, like they'll have different pictures on the front and music. I don't know how to do any of that. So it's like, I wish we had like a community chat that we could like pick each other's brains about how to do things like that. Because there's just so much I don't know.
Yeah, John Nevermore Antiques is very skilled at that technical stuff. I mean, I kind of sort of know. I mean, I don't know how to do it, but I can recognize when it's OBS. I can recognize, like, you could do an opening screen, you could do an ending screen. Dave, you talked about Casey, the Rockstar Flipper. Casey's using OBS now. You'll see he has like a little video in the beginning, and then that's his opening. Then he has an ending video. Then he has his subscriber count on the top. Then he has a little, you know, creatures running around with new subscribers or super chats. That's OBS, Open Broadcasting System. So I don't know how to use that. I have a hard enough time with that.
There's John saying in the chat there to Bianca. Bianca, you can film the video live, but set the private. Yes, that's true. You can do that. If you set the video to the private, Bianca, anybody that has the link to your channel can view that, and you'll not get anybody from the public end. The whole world won't be able to see it. Just people that you know that have the link to your channel will be able to do that. But I always make mine public because I have over 30 renters in my channel, so I'm covered. I just make it public. That's the way I do it. But everybody has their own opinions about it. And some people like doing public, some people like it private, but it's just whatever you want to do. But yes, for Bianca, yes, like John says, Bianca, you can do it private if you want, if that makes you more comfortable doing it.
Yeah, and then you can look at it. That kind of eased me into it. And I'm going to tell you, I probably got about 20 videos that nobody's ever seen. So, I mean, you kind of have to you got to practice a little bit, you know. So I spend a little time practicing. There's some videos nobody's ever going to see. So. Bianca is really stressed. Can't wait till the year is over. Are you stressed with YouTube, Bianca, or just what you're doing?
Bianca?
What are you stressed with, hon?
Just life in general, Bianca, you're stressed? I understand that.
Everybody's stressed around the holidays, so.
That's true. Too much cleaning and cooking and straightening.
Everything.
All right. I guess Bianca's not going to tell us why she's stressed. Okay. Did anyone have any additional questions or anything they want to share? Because we're a little over an hour now. I don't want to keep you guys, but I'm glad I had both of you on. Really learned a lot about you.
David.
I mean, I kind of knew David, but I didn't know a lot of personal things about Kathleen.
I'm so glad David showed up, and thanks, Adam, for inviting me to join.
Yeah, thanks very much, Adam. Thanks very much. Yeah, thanks for having me on, and it's great talking to you, Kathleen. Yeah, it's great. Thanks very much. Really appreciate it.
Okay, Bianca, we'll think about you, and if we're so inclined, we'll be praying for you too. We'll
I understand, Bianca.
The holidays, like I don't really have any family anymore, so it's difficult for me around. Especially Thanksgiving was kind of a family holiday for me. It's tough around Christmas, but Thanksgiving was even more difficult. So I understand, Bianca. We'll say prayers for you.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah. We all love you in the reselling community, Bianca. I know that we're there for you if you ever want to chat or talk to us or whatever. We're all there for you.
Yeah. We're here for you, Bianca.
Okay,
Yes.
folks, on that note, I guess we're going to sign off. Again, I want to thank David and Kathleen for coming on and joining us. And they've always been very good to me, and I appreciate them joining me today on our pre-holiday show. I will not have a show next Wednesday. I may do a video or pop on live, but nothing officially scheduled next week. And I'm hoping to have Anita on the following Wednesday. If not, I will be on the following Wednesday in the new year. So again, everybody, thanks for joining us. And as my friend Prof. Sales says, good sales to you. Goodbye.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Bye, everybody.